Hey everybody and welcome back, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It is with the 98 machine, and as you probably see from the title, we're going to be trying to get a Dualshock 4 to work on Windows 98. You might be wondering why exactly. Well, this game, Star Wars Racer, Episode 1 Racer, people usually just call this Pod Racer. It's a really good game and I really like it. It's one of my favorite racing games ever, and yeah. And of course, this is a PC, so I'm using keyboard. But the way that the keyboard controls are set up, at least for me, I could change it, but I'm too lazy to. It's very stressing on your fingers. It really makes you stretch your fingers around and stuff. And, you don't get analog precision. And so the only gamepad I have for the PC is this abomination. This is a Microsoft Sidewinder gamepad, which is a 15-pin game port controller. It's not even a joystick. It's literally just a controller. It's just a D-pad. It's a horrible D-pad, and that still doesn't fix the issue of analog control. Now, I do have a flight stick, but again, that's a flight stick. There's so much range of motion that it's impossible to use for a racing game. So I turned to the next closest option, a DualShock 4. Now I thought I would have to use a Xbox controller, Xbox 360 controller, because that makes sense, because that's what I've always heard, especially on older Microsoft operating systems like XP and stuff, that stuff like DualShock 3s wouldn't work. Because I have remembered trying to use a DualShock 3 by just plugging it into a computer, and it wouldn't install the drivers because it was a proprietary thing. From what I had heard, people had made DualShock 3 drivers for like newer versions of Windows. They looked kind of shady, they weren't official, so I didn't really know what I was going to do. Until I found a video online when I was browsing a Vogon's article about getting a DualShock to work on a Windows 98 PC, and there's a privated video that they'd linked in this Vogon's post about him actually playing Pod Racer with a DualShock 4 on his 98 machine, and it appeared to work perfectly fine. And he actually said that it doesn't need any drivers. It'll just load default drivers from the Windows 98 CD. Apparently that's because the DualShock 4 uses what's called the D input standard, or direct input. I think that's what it stands for. I'm not sure. Basically, it's a standardized controller input standard that exists that actually Xbox controllers actually don't use. Xbox controllers use the X input standard, and they actually need a driver if you wanted to, say, use it on Windows 98. And I didn't want to have to try to find a driver. And the only driver I'd ever found for an Xbox 360 controller was only for Windows XP and above. So, hopefully, if everything works out fine, we'll be able to use this on that and be able to play this with a real controller now. So I don't have to stress my fingers out a bunch. It'll just be a lot nicer. So let's go ahead and turn on the computer and get this ready. Alright, so I have the Windows 98 machine turned on now. As you can probably hear, it's pretty loud. The fan in it is dying. At least I think, because that's really noisy. So I have a micro USB cable plugged into the back of the 98 machine already. And we have our trusty DualShock 4, which is much better than the Xbox, any Xbox controller. I don't care about your opinion, so don't even try to correct me. I'm gonna plug this in. Ooh, it's glowing. Ooh, we got a thing on there. Alright, I'm gonna zoom in on this. Alright, I hope you can read that. My camera doesn't have very good zoom. So it detected a USB audio device. That must be the headphone jack on the bottom. You can't see it, but there is a headphone jack on the bottom of a DualShock 4. Search for the best driver for your device. Sure. Nothing in the floppy drive. It says it found a thing. It's reading off the CD that's already in the secondary drive. At least I think it is. Oh, it's accessing the hard drive now. I should note I do have the unofficial Service Pack 3 installed for Windows 98, so I don't know if that has any effect on it. I got a thing that says insert the 98 CD-ROM. Well, it is inserted. Then it says, oh, it's because I have to change the drive letter. Yeah, I have the unofficial Service Pack 3 installed, the latest version of it. So I don't know if that has anything to do with this. I don't know if stock Windows 98 supports this or not. I haven't looked. So there's nothing else that's showing up. There's nothing about a game controller itself showing up. Let's go ahead here and go into Control Panel. Let me go to Game Options. I don't know why nothing. Wireless controller okay. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's zoom in on this. Wireless controller okay. It didn't say anything. It didn't tell me it was installing a controller. It just said USB audio device. Hold on. Maybe sound, video, and game controllers. Huh. It didn't tell me it was installing drivers, but maybe it did it in the background? I don't know. Again, this is not a vanilla install of Windows 98, so I don't know. So, let's see, properties. Oh, whoa. The D-pad works. The triggers, the analog triggers do seem to work. The left stick works. The right stick seems to work. Circle, X, triangle, square. L1, R1, L2, R2. Left stick down, right stick down. Touchpad button, just clicking on the touchpad. Options, share. PlayStation button. Yeah, it detects everything. I'm shocked. I didn't expect it to work that easily, but it just does. That's kind of weird. So, I guess it's time to play some Pod Racer, right? Alright, so I had to configure Pod Racer for a while to get it to properly, or at least get a control layout that I like. Pod Racer did seem to detect. That was some weird slowdown. When did my PC start lagging at this game? That's not okay. But I am using it to control, and I should not be looking through the viewfinder. I had to set it up weirdly, and I died because I'm not playing well. But it is working. It is not, the gas or accelerator is not analog. I couldn't get that to work, but yeah. I can roll fine, I can slide fine, all the time look well. I can repair if I need to, which there's nothing to repair right now. But yeah, it's working. You can see I can suck at the game. So it's working fine. I don't know how many other games this will work with. This is the only game I can really think of that would utilize the controller. So yeah. Okay, whoa, that's... Forgot I set that up to be camera view. Does anybody actually play this game like this? It's like impossible, because when you turn, your entire screen gets covered up by your engines. How does anybody play like this? Why did LucasArts think this was a good idea? Because it's clearly not. And see, I died. Yeah. I swear I don't suck at this game that badly. I'm just not actually really playing at the moment. And then also what's nice about this is I can at any time go back to, oh god. I can at any time go back to keyboard. Probably hear my keyboard there. You didn't... I wasn't lining my hands up on the keyboard right. But yeah, I can swap between the two, which is also kind of nice. No practical use for that, but yeah. So I guess that's it. I don't really have anything else to really say about this. Oh, I guess I could check if the audio, the headphone jack works. Alright, I plugged in my headphones into the Dualshock 4. You can see it there. And there is a hiss now, like a very faint hiss. Which could get annoying, but it definitely means it's outputting some sort of audio. Preferred device, USB audio device. That I don't have any other USB audio devices plugged into this. So yeah. I don't know what happened to my mixer, because it's not in the system tray. Thank you, Windows 98. Let me see if I can find any other way to... No. Well, it outputted audio when I did this. It's outputting the error sound through the headphone jack. So the audio device is working. The headphone jack does work. I just don't know what happened to my mixer. It's not down here in the system tray because Windows 98 just loves to not work because it's Windows 98 and it was basically just beta. You can pretty much just sum up Windows 9X as just being one big beta. But yeah, that's it. This works. It's glowing. I showed you it working. So if you have a Dualshock 4, I don't know why that opened, but if you have a Dualshock 4, you got a Windows 98 machine, you want to play some games like Pod Racer, or any other games that you think will benefit from a controller that's not one of these back in the day ones, like the Sidewinder. This is a new option now. As you saw, it just worked. I don't know why it didn't say it. It only said it installed the audio device. It didn't say installed the game controller, but it worked. So, yeah, this will be a little bit of a shorter video than normal. But yeah, so I thank you guys for watching, and hope you have a good day. Bye.